Hi, a Wild Silas appeared, and we are back with more Jail Simulator Platinum. It's Pokemon Platinum, in case nobody understood it. Actually, everybody would understand it, Silas. Anybody's been paying attention. You know why? You know why people would know? Because that's what you said it was at the start of the series. Excuse me. Right now we are scaling the big Titanic Tower, where I thought I was supposed to get Spirit Tube, but it turns out no, you don't get that till the end game for whatever reason. I don't know. The ghosts are reaching into everybody's pockets, saying, "Hey, who's worthy of witnessing our glory?" It's like fucking Bloodborne, where it's like, do you have the eyes on the inside to witness Spiritomb? Not until you get the National Pokedex. Man, I fucking love Bloodborne so much. It's such a great game because it's like, yo, here's this insight thing that, you'd think it doesn't matter, it isn't worth a shit, it's just this little bar that does nothing. And then you get, what was it, to level 29 or 19 or something around that, and then things just, and it's like, and some things are change up, like a certain status ailment. I can't remember the name of it in particular, but a status gets affected, and a whole bunch of shit just goes the fuck down. By the way, shout outs to Matt and Dominique for providing me with a lovely pillow for me to rest my posterior on. It wasn't posterior specific. I just decided that's where I need the most comfort right now, is my desk. My gamer chair has basically gone to shreds, and God, I need a new one. I need to actually get down to brass tacks and start cleaning out a lot of my gamer stuff. I need to clean everything. My room is awful. I'm not following Daddy Jordan Peterson's advice at all. Oh man, I need to clean my room. No, seriously, I need to clean like this wall right next to me, because fucking, like, there is soda all over it, spilt, and I don't know how long. For whatever reason, I specifically notice when I am currently in the state of mind in which I am in right now. I tend to notice, like, colors stand out a bit more, and I'm just like, man, that looks like it could use some doing. Oh man, I'm gonna do it. And it's a sort of it's a very optimistic attitude that I really like. It's me actually, giving a shit about shit, That was a good Rickyism. Beautiful. Oh man. I'm so confused as to how intelligent I am compared to regular ass beings, because I tend to hold myself in high regard as being hyper intelligent, thinking I know it all, thinking that I am so morally superior. But then it's like I really fuck up my speech. I have the worst charisma, and then I actually wonder, am I actually that deep? Am I just bullshitting my way through life, pretending like I'm some gift child with my writing, and I'm actually just some fucking hack? And I'm like, I do have like 23 ideas. Are they all mine? Are they all just awful? Are they all bad cliches? Oh no, my self-doubt is kicking in. But, me being able to realize that, being the condition that I am in, I'm able to dismiss that without ultimately reneging on it. And if I feel myself trying to renege on it, it's just like, nah, I ain't doing it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth the fight. It ain't worth the struggle, man. To worry about shit you can't change. Let's worry about shit you can change. Let's do the thing. What's that? What was that noise? What was that noise? What was that sound? Cause like, you know, you gotta worry about the shit that is in your life, that is right in front of you. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's a very lazy ideal in the sense that it's very focused on the conservative principle of individuality in the capitalistic sense. So that's another thing that I find really interesting in the split, and also it's interesting to see where centrists lie, like the actual centrists, not these mixed up far right centrists, but genuine like moderates, like where they land on perceived individuality. Because it's like, hypothetically, like, and here's the actual discussion on the sort of ideals of freedom being being oppression, and freedom meaning, you know, genuine freedom. For instance, one insists, the capitalist, and once again, this is a straw man that I think is fairly credible. I think that's credible to suggest that this is a common example of capitalist principle in which because the individual does not have to pay, they are therefore free to make choices. And they can make their choices on what to depend on. Versus communism that guarantees that you'll never have to pay. That guarantees at the end of the day you get the same expectations met where there are already expectations. That's the struggle that communists have in trying to basically reach for an understanding. In order to grasp the liberal, it says, listen, what communist aims are, the communism is actually the most freeing thing, because you don't have to worry about bills to pay. You don't have to worry about, you know, having debt pile upon you. But then there's that capitalist trick where, okay, but you can escape the debt and then do whatever you want. But then it turns out that there are very few people in this world who can escape that debt and have enough money to be capable of doing a lot more, say, committing more inhibition, just appealing to the most primal and dark of us. And that, I feel, is the most cynical of capitalism, is that it feeds upon the world's... It feeds upon self-interest. As opposed to communism, and this is where, you know, people decried Star Trek as being socialist, was when they said we have gone beyond the use of material gain, meaning that effectively people were able to recognize the value in by being limitless, by escaping from debt. That escape from debt, in a sense, is an escape from death, but nevertheless, that escape from being in a life of death is more liberating than choosing who you're going to serve under, effectively. If that makes any sense. Because that's the way, you know, work under the capitalist system goes, is you are selling you're selling yourself to the market. You're selling yourself and your time into the market. And what are you doing outside of that? Why, you are consuming. You produce and you consume. And each one is in itself a dependency. Because you are choosing a provider and you are choosing who to provide for. And in some cases, in a lot of cases, they can overlap. And that's the justification for it. Well, I mean, I'd argue that's the justification for society in general. Nevertheless, I feel that I agree with the Marxist interpretation that one is truly free without debt, and the truly free cannot fall into debt. Debt is not the issue. They aren't obligated to offer something to somebody and die. They can live on virtually life itself. And you know, that's the whole idea behind, like, oh, you know, communism only works in theory. But that, once again, that goes back to my idea, that goes back to the conflict about capitalism, is that it, once again, works on paper, but then lots of people fucking die, and they continue to fucking die, and anybody who doesn't die from natural causes, from like, by natural causes I mean like natural disasters and disease, those people will, you know, be killed via ruthlessness as a result of the other two things, as a result of malnourishment, etc. There's a part of their life that isn't being fulfilled, as opposed to under communism, in which the hole is that hole is being filled. That, I mean, maybe like the only ways in which it could not be is if your interest is in having people beneath you. That is the only way I can visualize somebody being, striving to be, quote-unquote, free in the free market. And that's the whole angle that capitalism has, is the idea that, hey, like, it's best described by Futurama, where he said, where somebody says, I hate the poor, and then he's like, yeah, and Fred's like, yeah, fuck the poor, and it's like, Fry, you're poor, and he's like, yeah, but someday I might not be, and then guys like me better watch out. It's the perfect description. Like, what's that fucking quote from that guy who was just like, every American thinks that he's a temporarily embarrassed millionaire. It's like, fuck right off. Like, you are so right. You are so fucking right on. And, like, I don't even know who you are. You may agree with capitalism, but, you know, that's I think the capitalist idea in general is this false sense of basically winning the lottery. We, like, the people who believe in ethical business practices, you know, the quote-unquote thing that doesn't exist because every employee who is paid less than their boss is, you know, being dirked around. Yeah, that's a good one. I kind of felt bad about that one because, you know, one of my bosses... you see, one of my bosses was named Dirk, and I liked him. I shouldn't like my boss. I shouldn't. You should never like your boss, okay? If you are going to like your boss, he wasn't gonna be your boss, okay? And that's why Ceausescu sucked. Because Ceausescu decided to say, hey, I'm the boss, and if you disagree with me, you know, you're dead. Ceausescu, I feel, is their visual, their mentality behind Mao, Pol Pot, Stalin, etc. All these people who, you know, worked some fucking dickhole, who worked some fucking millionaires to death. That reminds me, like, my, fucking, oh, I apologize, my hair is stuck in my, ooh, ow, in my fucking headset. Wow, that yanked out a good chunk there. I'm not pleased with that. But it's like, just because they worked some bourgeois fuck to death, it's like, oh, well, you see, you're getting rid of the payment. You're just a slave to the state, man. And it's like, you know, okay, Ceausescu did that, right? I'm not saying... It's a straw man. It's a straw man. It's bred by ignorance. They think that when we say no money, it means, okay, so you just want to destroy everything. Like, that's how fucked capitalism makes people. That's this illusion that everybody thinks, is that, okay, no more money? Okay, so you want everything to stop and to, like, just anarchy. Well, no, anarchy in the beyond in the fucking Mad Max sense, you know. That's not it. That's the future anarcho-primitivists want. I'm joking. I mean, maybe. I mean, no. Okay. I'm not the best guy to ask about this, okay? About anarcho-primitivism specifically. I've only read Henry David Thoreau, and even he's not very much interest to the anarcho-primitivists I know. What's up with that? Why do they have a social standing? Why are they popular? Why aren't they just this big target by the right? I don't understand. It's a big target for the left. I don't know. Maybe it's because anarcho-capitalists also dig the idea. Because, you know, that's how you get a reactionary fan base like the ones who unironically like Kaiser in New Vegas, etc. Once again, I'm rambling on this for too long. Stay wild. I did a peace sign up in the air as if you guys are watching me on a live stream and I've got a camera running. Oh man, it's gonna suck to, I'm gonna have to get a lot of munchies for if I'm ever going to live stream, which I want to do, you know. End video. Stay wild.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow.